Hi, and good morning, everyone. How good are you at making sales? Welcome to season 6 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing tips for every business owner and entrepreneur.
Sales calls can send a shiver of horror down any entrepreneur or small business owner's spine. Join myself, Selena of Hauoli, Socially Inspired, and Anna of NomadAbout with Amy Walker of Amy Walker Consulting to discuss the psychology and systems that will help you close every deal. Yay!
Yeah.
Hello! I'm excited for today because I'm just gonna throw this out there. Like, I am a very I'm a very soft sell. I don't know how to do the hard push. You know what I mean? I don't do cold calls very well. I need to find a way to connect. And so I'm excited to hear all the things that Amy is going to talk about today.
I am too. My kids are currently doing scout selling for popcorn. And my daughter's like, can I go knocking on doors? And I'm like, yeah, you go by yourself though. I'm not going up there with you.
I'll be in the car with a hat down over my eyes.
That's how much I hate direct sales, right? And when I say hate, I mean in the sense of I know you have to do it, but it is not the easiest thing in the world to do. So I'm super excited to have Amy on today. She's going to talk a ton about that. But before we do that, anyone who's listening in right now, I want you to pop in your comments. How good do you think you are at making sales? Give us a rating, or a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just, pop something in there and tell us kind of how you feel about the whole sales process.
Yeah. It's because guess what, guys? It's part of every business. There is a sales portion for every business. And every business, you want to sell toilets? Guess what? There's a sales guy. He's got to go out and sell you that toilet. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we got one that's 50-50. That's like me. It's kind of you have to do it, but you don't really want to. Maybe that's what 50-50 is, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Look at this one. They love sales. Who is Facebook user? I know.
Yeah, Facebook user. Tell us who you are so we know. But okay. Look, let's get going into so Anna asked you the questions. Keep this in mind. How good are you at making sales? And then get ready to ask some questions to Amy. So stay on. So you have an expert that can tell you. But we're going to,
expert.
Yes, expert. You guys, we're so excited. Okay. So we are going to bring up Amy's bio. Anna is going to give it all a read.
Yes, I am. So Amy is pretty amazing. She's the author of the I'm Not a Salesperson sales book, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. She's a client acquisition specialist, an international speaker, an executive business coach, and a podcast host. She's also a wife and mom to 5 boys, which is wow. Her passion, helping entrepreneurs create a business model that works and makes money and does not take over their lives. So I'm already loving this woman, right? She got a ton to offer. She believes that businesses can be a platform for creating positive change in the world and empowers entrepreneurs to go after their dreams. So she's been featured in any number of places: Fast Company, American Express, Huffington Post, U.S. News and World Report. So this is not small fries, people. This woman has been and done some pretty amazing things. She is married for 20 years and they live in Jackson County, Georgia right now. And so I'm super excited. I think we just bring her up and let everybody say hi and meet Amy.
Yeah, let's do it, Anna. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, she's coming.
Yay!
Hi,
Amy. So excited to be here. What a fun dynamic the two of you have together. I love it.
Oh, thank you. We are, Amy, we were besties first, and then we worked together, and we realized we could also be work besties. And sometimes it never works like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like every reality show drama you see where friends go on the show together, and then they're never friends again, and you're like.
Yeah, but I feel I'm on a podcast with my biz bestie too, and it's so much more fun doing it together.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and there's that natural rhythm. I feel like I know what she's gonna say before she says it, which helps me know what to say after she's gonna say what she says, and then it just keeps flowing, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful thing.
Amy, thank you for coming to the show. I think before we get started, because we have questions for you today, we want to do our coffee cup selfie with you just because that's just our thing. So if you have a cup of any sort, or even just a water or a pencil, that works.
That
works. Water looks like the biggest cup of coffee in the world, but it's just water.
Yeah, that's okay. So water is good for you.
I just want to show you my cup because I did it specifically today for the salesperson. It says, "You had me at meow." And I was like, that's what I want people to say. Like when I talk, I want them to be like, "You had me at meow, Anna."
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to buy some.
Yeah, I didn't have any, and mine was just Niagara Falls, but hopefully that just means like we're gonna like kill it today, like just it's the falling of our show. But anyway, let's raise our cups and we'll do our little selfie with Amy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we did it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Amy, for like, appeasing us with like it's a silly thing we've done since show 1, and you're show 56. And that's so exciting for us. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
That's a giant.
I know. Right. Let's do it, Anna.
Yeah. So we had sent Amy some questions and that we want to dive right into it because I think this is an area that is really scary for a lot of business owners. Like there are some very naturally good at salespeople. They're easy. They're fine with small talk. They can chat things up and they have no problem leading right into that. Hey, now you want to buy my stuff, right?
Right.
I think for the most part, it does not come naturally. And you really do have to learn how to do it. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to pop in question number 1. And that is, I want to do it not as I'm sorry, people. Hold on.
It's Monday. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
So what is the number 1 complaint you hear from your clients about sales?
It's that they wish they didn't have to do it. It's like, I love this service. I love my product. If only I didn't have to sell, then I could be, I could have more fun and make more money and all these things. And the reality is sales is it's the door that you invite your customers through. So I like having parties at my house. And when I have a party, I am excited to open the door and invite people in. It would be really lame to have an awesome party going on inside. And then they knock on the door and I'm like, sorry, I'm in here in my MC Hammer pants alone and you don't get to come in, right? Like it's where you open the door and you're like, hey, come into this awesome party I've prepared for you. And that's what I want them to understand. But that's the number 1 thing. They wish they didn't have to do it. Instead of looking at it going, I'm so excited I get to do this and get to invite my clients in.
Amy, you just had me at MC Hammer Pounds. I just wanted to say that here today.
So I am a leap year baby. And in 2020, I turned 10 for the second time. And we did a 1990 themed party. And it was epic. There were gold MC Hammer costumes bought on Amazon that felt like those emergency blankets that you keep in your car in case you get stranded. They were kind of like that, but it was great.
I need to be in your world more than just here. So, okay, sorry. I know that's
there's got to be a picture of that somewhere that we will have to find and regurgitate, like with our posts after the show. That just like Amy in her MC Hammer pants.
Right.
Well, okay, so in full disclosure, I bought those for my husband, and I was wearing like everything neon. So we went together.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Full package.
Yeah. But that's also, hey, look, if we're bringing this, tying it together to business, that is it right there, is like serve the full deal, right? Not only just open the door, but like have a really great party going on. Yes. Oh my gosh.
With your clients. And that's the way, the minute I'm on a sales call, I'm engaging with these people like they are my clients. And I love my clients. I care about them. So we're going to make that an amazing experience. And then at the end, they get to choose, do I want more of this amazing experience or can I not handle all this awesomeness? And that's their choice, right?
Yeah.
So my ability is to create an amazing experience for them and to be really clear with them and helping them understand what they want and how they can get it. That's what my job is as the salesperson. So it's really fun once you shift your thinking around it into this is sales, it's service, it's fun, it's getting to help your clients. This is the first step where you get to change their lives.
So we have a Facebook comment that just came in, and I want to touch on it right now because I think this is a big part of people's apprehensions for sales. Okay. They say, love what you do. Awesome. Can't afford it. Yeah, like how do you overcome that hurdle when you're trying to sell something like this is a life coach, right? Where it's not a tangible product that you're handing to someone, but it's a set of services that you know is going to be better for their life or their business or whatever, their health.
Right.
I mean, whatever the thing is. What would you say to this person?
I do a segment on my YouTube channel called Sales Doctor where we diagnose your sales woes, and I dress up like a doctor and I have a stestoscope. It's great. So this is one that I would love to dive into a little bit deeper diagnosis, but because we need to keep things moving, I'm going to say there's 3 areas that I would ask about. Number 1 is in your marketing, are you actually marketing to your ideal client, or are you marketing to people who are not financially qualified? Because if they're not financially qualified, you can have all the words and it's not really going to make a difference. So that's going to be the first thing. The second thing is in your sales script, have you actually positioned the cost of their problem versus the value of your solution? Because if you do that, then it's like, okay, how much is this all these problems you've been telling me about, how much is that costing you? And they're like, $1 million. And you're like, awesome. My program is 900,000. And it feels like a bargain, right? So having done that, and then the third thing is just learning how to overcome that sales objection of, I can't afford it. Because here's what I want you all to understand, write this down, like tattoo it on your forearm. I don't actually have tattoos, but if you want one, it's be a good one. Okay. What I would get really clear on is that sales objection has nothing to do with you, your product, or your service. I promise if they're telling you that they can't afford it, you're not the first person they've ever said those words to, right? That's their go-to hang up that stops them from getting what they want. And so learning how to overcome objections in like a gentle, loving way will help you to be able to feel confident navigating through that process. And that's actually one of the things that I have actually that script lined out inside of my book, which I think we're giving away at the end. So
yeah, you'll see it. Yeah. Don't you worry, guys.
So I just want to say 2 things. One, that's a really long tattoo. So I don't know if I could put that on.
You can put it in a nice like typeface thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like cover it's more like a sleeve. It's gonna go all over.
And it's gonna have like you're gonna pick like the worst font just so you know, like to never not look at it, right? Got it.
Right.
Okay, second.
The second thing is I really love what you just said about the value of your service versus the cost of their problem. And that is such a great way of looking at things. And not one that I think that I do it a little bit, but not consciously. I don't say, what's the cost of this problem that my client has that I'm providing for them. And so I love that idea. And that's something I'd like to explore probably maybe a little bit more as we kind of like discuss, because I think that's a huge part of that sales objection, right? Is not just showing them your value, but comparing that value to what they're losing by not having somebody like you, or something that you provide in their toolkit. So, okay. So good. Yeah. Already loving this, right?
Right. Yeah, I know I am. I'm like, I got the fact that like you could be fishing in the wrong pond. You know what I mean? The fish are not there. So you just need to shift ponds and like go where, like you said, the qualifying, clients. Good stuff. And it's only the first question. Jeez.
I know.
Amy, you're like nailing it. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
I mean, how lucky did we get today, Anna?
Like just dropping mics all day.
Yeah, just do it. Let's just end this show, you guys. It's all done. Amy needs to say no more. Just go to her website and, fall in love with her. Okay.
And just as follow-up, look, Facebook user, I wish I knew who this was, but they said that is exactly what they needed to hear. So well done. I think you helped the listener today, which is awesome.
Yeah. Breakthrough.
Yes.
Okay, so question number 2, I'm going to jump into it. Selena, you want to go ahead and ask her this one?
Okay, Amy, how do you know if you have a marketing problem or a sales problem? Like, what's the difference?
This one's a good one because so many people come to me and they're like, I have a marketing problem. And I get into it. I'm like, no, you got tons of leads. You just stink at converting them. But we can fix that. Or they'll be like, I have a sales problem. I'm like, no, your closing ratio looks beautiful. You don't have enough leads. So first of all, it's just understanding the difference between the two. That marketing is your lead acquisition and lead nurture, and sales is lead conversion. And so if you can keep that in mind, that they're not the same thing, and we need to think of them separately so we can see how well they're both performing. They're both two parts of client acquisition. If you want clients consistently, you got to learn how to get leads consistently. You got to learn how to close them consistently. So once we look into that, we're going to look at how many leads do we have coming through. Now, there is a mathematical formula, and I know you don't all love to do math, but if you connect with me on social, you can ask me for this and I'll send you it. I built a spreadsheet formula for my clients so they can put in their sales goal, and it can tell them how many leads they need. And
I love that.
And it will tell you how many sales calls you need to hold, how many you need to schedule, because they don't all hold. Like, it just goes through and tells you all the numbers. So if you know that, and you look at it and say, okay, I consistently don't have enough leads, then you have a marketing problem. But if you look at it and say, okay, I should be closing at this percentage, but I'm really closing below it, then you know that you have a sales problem. So it's really just understanding the numbers and then watching where you're falling below what the metrics are for you to hit your sales goal. Because the beautiful thing is, I don't know if any of you as entrepreneurs have felt this, like, beginning of the month, oh gosh, I hope I hit my sales goal this month. I wonder how I'm going to hit my sales goal this month. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know, like, that's kind of the norm. I do not like that. I want you to be able to look at every month and know that you can hit your sales goal. I have a goal to do 100K in sales this month, and I have a plan to do it, and we are on track to hit that number, and we have enough leads to work with. And that's where I want your business to be at, is like, it's predictable. Very predictable.
So is this is this mathematical formula one that's like a business best practices formula that everyone knows if you're a sales expert such as yourself, but other people like, or is this something that you've come up with that just shows, like, in your years of experience and your best practices, this is what you've seen work?
It's actually a number that everyone should know, and a shocking number of small business owners don't. But it's not something fancy, right? Like, it's not something fancy. Now, they're in that. It's actually a spreadsheet that I'm happy to share, because I just want everyone to know their numbers.
Yes.
I'm like,
oh my gosh,
you know how many leads you need? As long as you do, I'm good. And so, you can tweak it based on your performance. So if you know I close at 40%, it will change how many leads you need. If you know I close 10%, it will change how many leads you need. If you have, like, only 50% of my clients show up for their sales appointments versus 80%, you can put in your numbers, and then and you can put in your pricing and what your sales goal is. So it's very adjustable. And then it will just keep recalculating that number. Here's how many leads you need. Here's how many leads you need. It's pretty cool.
I love that. What a great tool, Amy. And thank you for offering it, like, out of the generosity out of your heart, right? Like, I feel like that is something that if small business owners aren't currently tracking leads and and maybe not even making sales goals, they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, right? And just saying, like, oh, well, maybe I'll get a few jobs this month, but maybe I won't, I don't know. Or, you know what I mean? Like, Amy, to know there's a formula.
Yes. Amy, you just took me back to the first time Anna and I actually sat down and we did our goals. And she goes, what's your financial goal? And I looked at her like, you mean for, like, myself, like, for this year? and Anna was like, she's like, and she's like, what do you want to hit? And I was like, and I did go back to, like, my, my restaurant years in management, right? We always sat down, we had budgets, we had goals, we had, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, as an entrepreneur, I need to think like that. Like, just because that's big business, right? And like you said, it was so true. A lot of us forget to treat our business like that. And so I will tell you, you would be very proud, but I'm sure your spreadsheet would have been so much easier. But I was like, okay, I need to divide this goal into 12 and then 12. I need to go, how much do I need to do? And then I was like, if I do website builds, I need to have this many websites in the year. But just, that's such a, like, and there's all these things you just wish you could be there, like, every time, like, somebody goes, I'm going to start a business, and you want to just be like, hey, here's Amy Walker. She's going to start you off with this thing. It's very importante. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I got really excited. So I love that you said that. There's so many
small business owners that I talk to when I'm like, okay, so what are you trying to hit? And it's more of a big picture, vague, that they're trying to hit. And here's, you could tattoo this. You could tattoo.
Yeah.
Vague intent create vague results.
Yeah.
Wait,
so true.
Wait, say that one more time. Big what?
No.
Vague intentions create vague results. So
that's so good.
If you've got this vague idea of what you want, I mean, it's going to be, you'll get results that will match the vagueness. I promise you. So if you want clarity,
yes,
you've got to get clear on what are the objectives we're trying to hit. Because otherwise, how do you know if anything's working if you can't measure it?
Right. Oh my gosh. Yes. No, exactly. You need to be able to know that you're hitting the goal and that you're going to what you're right here, you guys. Vague intentions create vague results.
Yeah. I just
had to dropping these like gold nuggets. Yeah. Tattoo it, guys. If you are listening to this on the podcast,
just write it in your notepad. That works too, because needles are painful, friends. So.
Right. But I mean, if you're really committed and this is like what you want to do and you're like, go ahead, you know, so true. Yeah, look at that. I know. Yes. I love this so much. It's so true. And I just think, again, everybody needs to have a little bit in their pocket of the smart people and like Amy. That's all.
Yeah.
Next question. You have a follow-up, Anna?
Question. Yeah, we got one more question for you. And this is really more to do with, I think, well, I'm just going to read the question. How about that? So what is the mindset that you need to have going into a sales call? You know, for those of us that aren't that confident.
Yeah.
So we've got our goal, we've got our numbers, we know how many leads that we have to sell. Now comes the actual like making it happen. So what's the mindset? Are there magic words? It sounds like you have magic words that you're just ready to share.
I'm ready.
We can tattoo also. Like I'm going to be tattooed in Amy Walker.
I know
at this point. So okay, so I'll let you answer. What would you say?
So the first thing that I will say is that I want you to understand that I do not naturally have a positive mindset before every single sales call. And I've closed $120,000 deals, you guys, like not $120,000 months, one deal, $120K. And I don't always have a great mindset. I still get emotional. And sometimes I have days where I'm like, you know, everything's falling apart and we're about to go out of business. And my husband's like, are you sure you don't just need a nap? And I'm like, maybe you're right. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Right. Like this is human. This is life. Sometimes we're great and sometimes we're not. And some of that's cyclical. And so like literally could be your PMS. So what I recommend is that you have like a routine that you go through that helps you get into optimum mindset. So the mindset that we want to be in is that we believe that we are going to do a great service with every single person that we talk to, that everyone is excited to talk to us, that they have been waiting for the solutions that we have to offer, and that we bring value. Like we want that mindset. I don't go in thinking every single person is going to close, but I go in with like a curiosity around, is this my next best client? And if they're not, like if I've had calls where I get on, I'm like, oh no, I do not want to work with this person. Cool. We don't have to close every single deal in order to be successful, but we do need to have consistent sales conversations in order to close the people to be successful. So I have a routine that I do that starts off with journaling. So I start off in the morning with journaling and make sure that I'm feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually grounded. I also have positive declarations that I say and affirmations. I have a sales goal chart sits right next to me that I get to write on after I do a call. I get to write on their name if they're pending. And once they close, I get to color in my thermometer with my little Sharpie. They're not Sharpies, they're dry erase. But I love that. That's really fun to me. And when I am in a moment where right before I get on the call, I do this little check and I'm like, is this about me or is it about them? Who's this about? And if I'm in that space where I feel like this is about me, then I do like a little quick shift. And I'm a prayerful person. And so for me, it's an issue of like, say a prayer on behalf of their business. And that all of a sudden shifts the focus from this is all about me. And are they going to like me? Are they not going to like me? Are they going to pick me? Are they going to pay me? Into like, how can I really show up and serve this person and be present for them? So it's a process, but keeping your mindset on point is really, really important.
I love what you just said about that. And I just want to retreat back to when I was promoted to like director of sales and marketing back in our restaurant. My job and objective was I had to go out and create new clients, like big clients, right? Like the airline, so they could partake in our catering services. And I remember being like, I'm walking into offices of like, but what you said about mindset is I had to tell myself, because I had shared with you earlier, I'm not a good cold caller. And I had to really figure out what was going to make me comfortable to go in. And I just was like, I'm just sharing with them. My thing was, I'm just sharing them about what we do. I would bring them lunch and we would just chit chat like this. And I was like, hey, like whenever you're ready, you know who to call. I got you. I will take care of you. I'm your girl. We'll get you and your company set up. And I would leave. So like you just said, right? I love what you just said, because it's so true for how I felt. I went in going, okay, if I land them, great. Sometimes I've left going, oh no, they would be most difficult. But I that defeat of like, oh, they didn't book with me like today when I saw them, and I don't know. That's so true of just shaping how you feel when you go into the call, right? Is so important of, I don't know. Yes. My mindset was like, new friends. That's it.
So I'm going to say that for me, the part that really resounded was like the after portion.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Selena.
Hi. I don't know. Sorry. I got excited. I pushed a button. Just wanted you all to see me.
But it's the after portion where you're celebrating what success you did have, right? Where you're coloring in your thermometer, or you're writing it down in your sales lead that you booked this call and you made the call and you're waiting, or it's pending, or you made the sale, or whatever it is. Like, I love that portion of it where maybe even if it's not 100% exactly what you were looking for, but you're still celebrating whatever win you made. Even if it's just, I made the call. Yay.
Absolutely.
This month,
Little rewards and little wins makes a huge difference, because we are not wired. I mean, nowhere in our training in school were we taught to sit and do all of our work alone without any gold stars, right? Like, I need the gold star. Where is my reward? Where is my prize? Where is my recognition? Well, when you're an entrepreneur, it comes from you. So you have to give yourself your own find ways to play and make it. And it is important to play in sales, to be curious and to be excited about the possibility instead of dreading the results or assuming that it's not going to work. Because I did sales that way when I first started. It was really bad, not fun, and hard. But that's, I think, comes with why you are an expert, right? You've done sales in different ways, and you know what really truly has worked for you, and I was
enough
really
to
bad
share.
when I started. Like, I was terrible when I started too. So I feel like I should be the person that gives you hope, because the first time I was trying to sell to anyone, I was picking up on prospects in the mall, and she thought I was asking her on a date and hitting on her. And I was like, no, I just wanted you to get my makeup from me. I'm sorry. And she wasn't interested either. She wasn't excited about that.
And the makeup for you. I'm so sorry, Amy.
It's not good,
like,
guys. It's not good.
I didn't know rejection was going to come twice today, but it did. Like,
that's funny.
But I do feel though, like sometimes when you do get those no's, that's like where you do learn, like, you learn to kind of craft your expertise and how you best sell. Right. So, man. So great.
I would have to say, like, just that final thought kind of being to remember that it's a learning process, and you're going to get better every time you do it. So you might have a double rejection day when you first start out, but then by the time you're a year into it, you're feeling more confident. You've got your routine down. You can celebrate your wins the way you're going to. You have that mindset that you're working on. So, it's just that reminder, like, it's not always just going to be like, boom, I'm excellent at this now, because
right.
It takes time.
Or if you are fantastic, good for you. If it's a natural,
congratulations.
Goodness, congratulations. No shade here, like, good for you. Like, okay, Anna, like, what are
So it's time to tell everybody how they can find Amy. What an amazing 20-minute conversation we just had with you. Seriously, I feel like we got so much good information. So people, if you want to connect with Amy, this is where you're going to do. Tell us all the places, Amy.
Yeah.
You know, I would say if you want a lot of training, come find me on YouTube. I know that's not one that's on there, but I post great training on there all the time. We post almost every day. So there's tons. And it's just Amy Walker Consulting. But if you want to actually like have a conversation, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I'm happy to chat and talk and see how I can be here and support you.
Oh, so good. I feel like I want to be in your show because the fact that you dressed up like a doctor with a stethoscope, like I can't dress up. You're Anna's kind of people because she role plays really good. Oh, she has it on.
I have it. So, I know. I'm like diagnosing your sales woes.
Yeah. You guys, she brought it to the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel like Anna is pulling something up that we'll probably really love.
I'm just going to throw her YouTube channel into the chat right now.
Yes.
So
okay,
it's
great.
coming out now. Amy Walker Consulting on YouTube. I just did a really quick search. Go there and learn all the things. I think it's going to be fantastic.
For sure. And then, so Amy, you guys, again, she's on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. That's her website. And on YouTube. Yes. I feel like you should go to the YouTube. And then maybe when you go to her website, she has a podcast with her biz bestie. So you're going to have to listen to that too. So she's everywhere. If you can't find her, you're not looking hard enough, people. You know what I mean?
I'm going to invite you guys to come on my show after we get done.
Yay! Oh, look, somebody just said I want to support. Oh my gosh, fantastic. I feel nervous though, Amy. Like we'll be okay, right? We'll do great. Like, you know.
Our show is so fun. You guys will love it.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay, guys. So yes, please find Amy. You know, she has been like just a wealth of just good stuff coming out today.
Totally.
You know. Yes. Okay, and so our next thing is our tip jar from our favorite Caitlin Eldridge. Today we were talking about hiring contractors. See if you can work out a retainer arrangement rather than paying by the hour. It lets you plan for the upcoming expenses and watch your cash flow a little easier. I love Caitlin. She's an amazing person. She runs my books, and I don't know what I would do if I didn't have her. Seriously. Okay. And this is where I'm so excited about this toolkit. We're going to have Amy talk about it because this is her deal. Like, this is what we all need. So, Amy, take it away.
Yeah. So I had so many clients coming to me saying, Amy, I'm just not a salesperson like you. And I was like, do you know how bad I was when I got started? And so I really started looking through what was it that helped me go from terrible at sales for a good solid few years, like probably my first 5 years as an entrepreneur struggled, into sales flowing really, really easily. And I documented it all and put it into this book, which I would love to give you all for free. It has all of my sales scripts in there. So if you want like my actual magic words that I say when I'm selling, they're in there. It covers how to overcome sales objections. It talks about the sales mindset. It talks about how much activity you actually need to do. And so there's a lot of great stuff in there. It's an easy read. And has some fun, embarrassing stories in there too. So go grab it.
It's not a good book if there's, it's not a good book if there's nothing embarrassing, right, Amy?
That's right. So I just popped the link into the comment. So go to that link and you can enter your information, and then you get this I'm not a salesperson ebook for free, which is awesome. Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah. And again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we will have this in the description. So if you're listening, run over there and decide which link you want to click on, because it's all such good stuff. So,
and if you only meander, that works too, because it's not going anywhere. You can get it whether you're the first in line or the third in line.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, don't forget to grab that. And I think, we're at the part where we're at the end of our show.
I know. So before we get going, I do want to say next week we have Jennifer Blue on with Jennifer Blue Wellness, and we are going to be talking about business life cycle changes. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like whether you're in startup or you're in growth or you're in the maturity or if you're declining, and kind of like the resilience that you as a business owner need to have during that time frame. So Jennifer's an amazing person. She is a life coach and she is a public speaker, and she has an amazing personal story that she has used to build this coaching business that she has. So we're excited to have her on. And then, as always, you can find us at hannahandselena.com. We'd love for you to hop onto our YouTube channel and subscribe for us. LinkedIn is one of our favorite places to connect with people for professional purposes. And then, of course, we're also on Facebook and Instagram, and you can throw us a DM there anytime you want. Yes. And the podcast. I won't forget the podcast.
Yeah,
look, somebody loves our show. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, thanks, guys. Man, you sure know how to make a couple of gals feel good today. You know what I mean?
Know, right? I love it. Amy, we need to have you on all the time.
Yeah.
I will hang out with you guys anytime. We need to be friends in real life, not just podcast.
No, really reals. Like, we need to have virtual coffees, and we need to like do something, because this was fun.
Yes, it was.
Okay, last thing. I know we said goodbye, but you guys, Amy is a body language expert, but she funnily, I know that's not a word, but I'm making it a word. Funnily said to us that the FBI would not hire her. However, she could close a deal because she knows how to body language what is going on. So I don't know if that's going to entice you to like go ask her more about it, but I laughed.
Well, and maybe we'll have like a follow-up show, like a 15-minute follow-up show where it's just about the body language. You should
there's
nice. Especially over Zoom. Like, does it work electronically and virtually? The same things?
Yeah. You have to watch. I mean, you can't see like their hands and their feet, which are pretty useful, but there's a ton in facial expressions, like the mouth and the throat, swallowing, and eye movements. There's so much stuff.
Ooh, this is good.
Yeah. My daughter just said, we're Hawaiian and we're like Italians. We use our hands. And my daughter was like, why do we? I'm like, you're Hawaiian. It's just in our Polynesian blood. Like we talk with our hands. So, you know, anyway. Okay, you guys. We could talk all day.
I know.
Yeah, we really are. We really are. But Amy, we'll see you backstage. And guys, thanks for listening to Anna and I today. And
we'll
Amy,
see you next week.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, guys.